use the weird heat lamp light. I think I may have just got a bottle baby. I noticed today that Miriam's udder was really big, so we were laying down to go to bed, and I asked Maya to run out here and put her in a stall. We got out here, and Suki, who I did not see it coming from, she had a kid on the ground, and the kid was really dirty. We got her cleaned up. Suki was really freaked out. She's not showing the kid very much attention. So far, she's not let it nurse. She's a first-time mom. And I was pretty determined to not have a bottle baby this year because we were so busy. But I'm afraid this little doeling might not make it if we leave her out here tonight with the way Suki is kicking her off. All right, she's warming up to her. She let her eat for a little while, which I needed to see. And she's cleaning her off real good right now. I think she got a little bit freaked out by the process. And honestly, I can't blame her for that. We've got Miriam isolated in the stall next door because her udder is ballooned up a lot today. I don't know, I'm assuming that Suki is done. That she's just having this one little doeling. We'll hang out here a little while longer. Come on. Come on. Come on, Gabe. It's ridiculously windy outside, so I don't know how much vlogging I'm gonna get to do, but I have to show you guys the garden. We got so much done today. Maya's dad came over and helped, and he and Maya knocked out a whole bunch of stuff, and I got a lot of planting done. So I wanna show you. I'm also getting ready for the plant sale in the morning, which I don't know exactly what I'm taking, and I had hoped to get more in this week. So I would make sure I didn't oversell because I don't want to end up having to buy plants to fill my garden after I started this many plants. So I'm probably going to be working until dark tonight, planting and laying things out just to get an accurate idea of what I need to keep. So the wind is knocking all of my tomatoes over, and I'm just leaving them because I keep putting them upright. I got these dudes down in the garden with me. Gabe thinks he's too big for his britches, and Bear is very patient with him, but I don't leave them together unattended. And Gabe does not get to play with Con yet. We haven't even done that with us there because Con is so big and honestly so like all the time that we just don't want to risk those two being around each other just yet. We're allowing them to get used to each other through fences and through the crate, and allowing Gabe to get a little bit bigger. Bear. Oh, Gabe tries so hard to get Bear, to get a rise out of Bear. You're a good boy, Bear. You're a good big brother. Also, we don't leave him unattended with the goats because he's so little that they could really hurt him. So right now, he is still sleeping in the house. Soon we will move him out into a stall with like our Nigerian dwarf and some of our younger goats that can't hurt him, so we can get used to him. And yeah, so it's just a process of socializing him with us and with the animals while also trying to keep him safe. We can't use the stalls because they have mama goats in them. We'll get back up there and look at them in a little while, but first I wanted to show you guys the garden. So I'm getting tomatoes in today. That was really like my main goal, and you can see here I've done a lot. I've gotten a lot in. I still have a lot to go. My goal is to finish these 2 rows by tonight, and then I'm gonna lay out this row. These are all gonna be tomatoes down that side. We've got to put the trellises up here and down there. So I'm just gonna lay the plants out. I don't want to put them in case Maya needs to step in the bed to put the trellis in. And this entire bed along one side is gonna be tomatoes as well. We've got to put another trellis in here. As you can see, no more jungle of weeds in between the rows. Maya weed-eated today, and we have some paper and cardboard and stuff we're gonna lay down and do the mulch. We kind of skipped that here and just kind of put in 1 layer of mulch. Obviously the weeds just tore right through it, so we're gonna lay some stuff down and put down another layer of mulch. Hey Kitten George. Hey dude, what's up little guy? So as you can see, all of these beds are fresh and ready to go. Same thing down here. Just a blank slate. This is so exciting to me. Isn't it funny how one good work day will take an incredibly overwhelming space. I'm telling you guys, I was coming down here like, oh, what am I gonna do with this big mess of a garden? And now I'm down here like, yay, this is the best place in the world. I will tell you that being on this end of planting the garden, when I'm really looking at the blank slate that it is, and I've got all of the seeds that I want to plant and all of the plants I want to plant, I've got a general idea of where everything's going. I am impacted with just how much food I could grow in this space. And I'm faced with the choice of how much I'm going to give to beauty and my own interest, because there are some varieties that I plant not because I think they're necessarily going to be the most productive, but because I just want to try them. And I think there's value to that. I think that making your garden a space that interests you and intrigues you is very important, because right now when I'm making these choices, I'm thinking of 100-degree July days where I'm gonna have to come down here and work. What's my motivation gonna be? And for me personally, I have found that growing things that interest me is the push that I need when it gets hard to make the work happen. Hey ladies and gent. Hey. A really cool thing that I wanted to share with you guys. My friend Amy Fuel, who has a YouTube channel called The Fuel Homestead, and she's also the founder of the Homesteaders of America group, which puts on the Homesteaders of America conference many of you are familiar with. She has written a couple of books. Her most recent one is about chickens, and I just received my copy of it. I actually contributed a lot of photos to that book. So throughout it, there are lots of photos that I took of my chickens. It was really cool for me getting to look through the book. So I think that was a big honor for me to get to see so many of my photos published. And Amy is awesome, and the book is really, really good. So if you're into chickens, definitely check that out. I'll put a link to it below. Girl, that Lavender Orpington, she is voluptuous. Here, what are you doing? Come on, we're gonna go back in the garden. I went to go check on Con for a minute, and I didn't take Bear with me, and so he was stressing out. My little shadow dog. Now I have 8 more arched trellises to plant. 8. That's a lot. And I know that I'm doing 1 vining squash, a couple more melons, some more cucumbers, possibly some more noodle beans. They're just so stinking majestic on the trellises. I don't know. I don't have it all figured out yet, but I am in full anticipation of the garden being absolutely glorious. I'm starting to be able to see it. I need some vision, you know, like I need to be able to picture something in order to like go for it. And I don't know, having the weeds down, the beds amended, I'm finding my motivation. I think I'm gonna be able to get it all in this weekend. I really do. Hey KG, what's up, little dude? Hey kitten. Hey kitten George. One of the things that we are going to be doing, as well as putting up those trellises for the other tomatoes, is taking down all of these random little pieces of trellis that are all over the garden. I did that last year with little parts where originally we'd had teepees, and I may still put up some little teepees of trellis, but just the random pieces sticking here or there, those are all coming out. I don't like how the lines feel choppy, and that may be silly, but you know, it's my garden. So we're taking all of these out, putting up the other walls, and I'm really being mindful this year, this is something I didn't do last year, about what I'm planning on the outer beds. And I'm essentially trying to create some real visual barriers around the edge of the garden. By putting these trellis walls up, I'm hoping to kind of have that walled in feeling. Like on this end bed, I'm doing okra, which will get really tall. And along the sides of the greenhouse, I'm gonna do some tall stuff, sunflowers, banana trees, and fill that in. In years past, I did not do that. However, this year with the sitting pavilion being there, I'm kind of wanting to create this very like secret garden space. It's far from that. It's far from a secret garden. I share it with all of you, and it's my joy to do that. But I kind of want to have a feel as something that is as private as possible right here next to the road. And I think I'm really gonna enjoy that. That's the feel I want to have. I want to be able to bring people in and step into this and it just be, I don't know, enveloping maybe? I'm probably overthinking this. I tend to do that sometimes. So I took y'all's advice and looked into the resources that you shared with me about cottage gardens, and I'm really beginning to get an idea of what I want going on over here. We're gonna bring this area down quite a lot and put up like a white picket fence, and we're gonna lay out some winding paths and then do kind of some structures, maybe like some obelisks, some arch trellises, just some different things throughout here to give it some structure, and then we're going to fill that in. I don't know how done this space is gonna feel this year. I would love for it to feel really done, but the truth is a perennial garden, it takes time. I'm trying to set realistic expectations for myself so that I don't get discouraged. But I'm starting to really get a feel and an idea of what we can do over here. Y'all wanna go check out the goats before it gets too dark? So Miriam, who I was so certain might kid yesterday, has not. My goats have pretty much just nailed down the belief for me this year that I have no idea what goats will ever do. Except of course be incredibly cute. We can always count on them for that. And Sook, who I did not think was anywhere near kidding, did have this little doeling. Of course, I showed you guys last night. I wasn't quite sure she was going to take care of her, but she ended up starting to clean her off. We got her colostrum in her within the first hour, and now she's been nursing great. Look at that little tail going. Hey, little dude. Gosh, they're so cute. I did not want a bottle baby goat right now. That is always a risk, even if you dam raise. Some does will reject their kids. Sometimes you have no idea why. Suki is a first-time mom. She's been pregnant once before and she actually miscarried. And then we skipped a year on breeding her, and this year I didn't know what she was gonna do, but she's got this beautiful healthy doeling. She did well in labor. It was fine whenever we came out here. The kid was on the ground, but she didn't clean her off right away, and I don't know if it was kind of storming all day. I don't know if she was just freaked out, but she ended up taking to the kid, and I was so relieved. As soon as she started really cleaning her off and letting her nurse, I was like, oh goodness, because a bottle baby, that's just a lot of time commitment. They have to be fed like 4 times a day at the beginning, and we've gone that route before, and if need be, we would do it again. But we have just so much going on right now. I did not want a bottle baby. Well, even though she only had a single, it is a doeling. We haven't had just a lot of those this year, so I was pretty relieved to get another one. The Nubian Sonnen mix and the resulting airplane ears that are happening here are pretty much adorable. Can y'all even with this little baby goat? One issue that I am seeing is that this baby is favoring one side. On Suki, she's favoring one teat. That happens sometimes when you have a single kid. It's obviously an issue because it's going to create a really lopsided udder. So I am making sure that I milk out the other side so it doesn't get engorged, so we don't get infection. Usually the kid will correct it and they'll end up starting to nurse off of the other side, but I have had it before where they didn't. And Nestle one year had a very, very lopsided udder because she had a kid that just would not nurse off the other side. This year she had twins. Her udder's just completely fine and normal. But we do want to avoid that. We want to keep it pretty even. Hey, little shadow dog. Here you go. Are you waiting, little Gabe? You waiting for me? So I gotta go through and figure out what plants are going in my garden and what of these plants are going to the sale in the morning, which is probably gonna take me a minute. and I should probably do that while I still have daylight. That means I'm gonna have to put the camera down. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. God bless you. Until next time.